Right everyone, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you my match preview of Chelsea's away trip to Craven Cottage, not too far away, against Fulham. A very big game for Frank Lampard. A loss against this Fulham side could unfortunately prove to be the end of his tenure as Chelsea manager. Hoping that is not going to be the case, and yeah, I am going to be giving you guys the team news going into this game, my predicted lineup and my predicted scoreline as well. So if you do enjoy these previews, please leave a like, comment down below your guys' predictions. I would love to see them, and as always, do subscribe for more Chelsea FC content. Okay, so team news. I'm actually going to start with the home side, Fulham. Loftus-Cheek, obviously a Chelsea player, will not be able to play, which I'm not too sure if it's a good or bad thing for them. Now that might sound a little bit weird, and this is me talking prior to their game against Tottenham, where obviously Loftus-Cheek actually performed very well and looked a bit like the Ruben of old. But I've been seeing, a lot of Fulham fans saying that Loftus-Cheek hasn't maybe fitted in that well as of late to the Fulham team, and they want someone like Kearney to start, who will probably start against us. He's the Fulham captain, so maybe that could strengthen Fulham a little bit. Obviously, it's a bit of a derby as well, so they'll definitely be up for the game. But besides that, there's not really much else team news to say. Ole Aina as well coming back to to face his former club, so he'll probably be up for it as well. He's actually done very well for Fulham. I've been watching a few bit of Fulham games actually, guys, because they're actually quite a fun team to watch. Anguissa is a really fun player. Lookman, Aina, obviously a lot of these players are on loan to Fulham, so who knows what will come at the end of the season. But I'm actually kind of hoping that Fulham do stay up. Obviously though, not to the detriment of us. I do hope we pick up the win, a much needed win. We haven't won in the Premier League for what seems like ages. There was that game against West Ham, but even that has seemed to be a bit forgettable. The performance definitely wasn't great, and it's been a long time since he performed well in a Premier League jersey. But yeah, like I was saying about Loftus-Cheek, I do hope he gets a bit better for him in Fulham, and hopefully the start of that was that game against Tottenham. I just think Parker is struggling to maybe utilise him properly, but hopefully now he's sort of got it a bit better sorted out. I think definitely a sort of 8 role is where Loftus-Cheek does thrive. But getting on to the Chelsea news, Lampard actually did report that everyone in the squad is fit. Obviously though, N'Golo Kante is suspended, so even though he's actually back training with the team, he's not going to be able to play against this Fulham side, which could prove to be a good thing for him. I mean, he doesn't get rested a lot, especially in December, so maybe this could actually give him a bit more energy for our games going forward. I mean, it's a massive game against Leicester after Fulham if we do manage to win, which could still prove to be important for Lampard. I mean, Lampard's probably next 6 games are very important, because I believe we have Leicester away, and then we have 2 home games against Burnley and Wolves. We have Spurs away, and we have Sheffield United away. You'd like to think that he needs to at least win 4 of those, and preferably 5, to have a good standing with the club and to keep his job. So hopefully that can happen. But Fulham are playing quite well at the moment, so it's definitely not come at a great time for us, and we're all going to have to be concentrated and ready and play like our lives depend on it tomorrow. So yeah, so everyone's basically fit. Reece James is back, Christensen I think's back, even though he's probably not going to start. So yeah, that's really nice to see, really nice to report from Lampard that everyone is fit, and with a few more weeks, longer weeks with no midweek fixtures to try and maybe prepare for this game, or maybe to sort of sort out some tactics in the team, maybe this could be a bit of a rejuvenated Chelsea side, at least. Fingers crossed. But getting into my predicted lineup for the game, I am going to be going with Edouard Mendy in goal. Kepa started against Morecambe, kept a clean sheet, didn't really have anything to do, and actually did almost make a bit of a mistake. He did recover well, but yeah, definitely he's not going to be confident if he is in goal, and I don't think he will be. I think Edouard Mendy still keeps his place. The back 4 is going to be what it usually is in these Premier League matches, apart from I am putting Reece James back in the back 4 over Azpilicueta. Obviously, if he's not fit, I wouldn't do this, but if he is fit, I think this has to happen. I think there is a sheer, I don't want to say golf in class, but at least golf in energy and physical ability between James and Azpi, where I think Azpi's still a good backup right back option, but I don't know if he's necessarily as good as we all thought that he was. He's definitely maybe lost a step, I guess you could say, in terms of pace, which is just very important in those right back roles. Maybe some flashbacks to Ivanovic at the end of his Chelsea career, which were pretty scary and frustrating times. But hopefully if Reece James is fit, he'll be back in the team to maybe give a bit more of creative threat, and maybe linking up with the right winger, who I will get to in a minute. But yeah, obviously Zuma, Thiago Silva and Chilwell will all be starting as well, and hopefully we can find a bit more cohesiveness in the back four and actually keep a clean sheet, which we haven't actually kept. Well, I suppose we kept one against West Ham, but it still again seems like a while since we've kept a proper Premier League clean sheet, or at least from a good performance. West Ham was just a bit dodgy, so yeah, hopefully we can see a bit more rejuvenated side. Going to the midfield, a tough one, because you sort of wonder, is Lampard just going to go for it? This could be it for him. Is he going to go push all the players that are playing for him, or is he going to maybe hold back and go with a bit of experience? Are we going to see Jorginho? Are we going to see Kovacic? I'm going to go with no. I'm actually going to go with the same midfield that we saw against Morecambe. Billy Gilmour deep lying with Mason Mount and Kai Havertz on either side. Risky, yes it is, especially against a Fulham side that do look to attack. But I just think you have to go for it, to be honest. I think Billy Gilmour needs to start deep. He's a player that is hungry to play, will definitely be playing under Lampard, trying to win the game, and I think this could be a very important game for someone like Billy Gilmour, obviously, especially that N'Golo Kante is suspended. Mason Mount is obviously pretty much the first name on the team sheet every single week. And Havertz got a goal against Morecambe, has been doing some very, pretty good substitute performances, and when he's come on against Arsenal, against City, against Villa. So I do think he deserves to start. Kovacic hasn't been playing well, so I don't think starting him is the right choice. Now, maybe you could say that we need a bit more of a defensive, player there to cover for Gilmour. Maybe he's maybe not as great as Kante, but I just think you have to go for it. And to be fair, Havertz did get back, did do some defensive work. He's going to be looking to prove himself in his first start for a while in the Premier League if he does start. So hopefully this can be a big game for him and we can see him perform well and how he was before coronavirus did unfortunately hit. But going into the front three, another big talking point, how's this going to pan out? Is Lampard again going to go with a bit of merit, or is he going to stick with some of the players that have been starting more recently? I am going to go with Hakim Ziyech on the right, got the minutes against Morecambe, looked pretty good. I wouldn't say he looked class or, but I think this is the type of game that he needs. I mean, Morecambe a 4-0 win, that's what the team needs for some confidence anyway, even if it was a bit of a sloppy game at points. Maybe this is where we can pick up from that and start playing a bit more with a bit more fluidity. But yeah, I think Ziyech could be crucial to maybe Lampard in these next few games, with his creativity, and especially with Reece James back, they could form a really nice partnership down the right hand side. So that'd be something I'd really like to see. Left wing, I am going with Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think he has to start this game. He's been playing so well, played really well against Morecambe, played really well against Villa, against City when he came on against Arsenal. If this team or the selection is based on meritocracy, he needs to play. He's been probably our most informed forward over the last few weeks, so I don't see how you can argue him not playing. Pulisic, don't think this is anything bad against him. I think he's played well when he has played, but he's just missing that little bit of end product which Hudson-Odoi seems to have at the moment, and that could be very important for this game. I think once Pulisic starts scoring, we'll start seeing the best of him again, but this is a bit of a clutch time where maybe you can't risk it, especially in this game against Fulham. So I think Hudson-Odoi does have to start on the left. It will be nice to actually see him and Chilwell maybe start together as well. That could be a nice little partnership. Emerson definitely didn't help out Hudson-Odoi that much against Morecambe, so maybe him and Chilwell can link up a little bit better. But finally up front, if this is going to be a prediction, what I think will happen, I do think Timo Werner is going to start up front. Now, he played up front against Morecambe and got the goal, so this could be what he needs to step up his performance, to gain that confidence and maybe tear Fulham a new one. But if I was picking the team, would I personally start him up front? Probably not. It's a very big risk still. Obviously, Morecambe is not high level competition, and he did still struggle in that game, mainly because Morecambe did sit back. They had about 6 or 7 players in the box at times, so you can sort of understand. But if Fulham do that and do sit deep, could they dominate and bully Vernon? That's definitely a possibility. If it was me, I would be starting, as you guys know, I would be starting Tammy Abraham. I think our team looks best when he's up front. He's got the physical presence, he's got the goal-scoring boots on, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Werner's going to be up front, and I'm praying that it is the right decision and that he can pick up from the Morecambe game and score a few more goals. Fingers crossed for that. I don't know if he's got maybe a clause in his contract where he has to play. I do want to defend Lampard a bit with selecting players like Werner. He might have a lot of pressure from the board and stuff to play him. Obviously, he costs a lot of money. We don't know what the contractual situation is. However, you could argue as well that Havertz hasn't been starting, so you know, a bit of a weighing scale there on what's really going on. If it was me, I'd be starting Abraham, but I think Werner is going to be the one that does start up front. If we do get onto the scoreline, obviously you guys can let me know your predicted lineups in the comments below. Scoreline, it's going to be a very important game for Lampard. Like I said, even though it shouldn't necessarily be the case, I do think that if we lose this game, that's going to be a very dangerous place for him in his stead. We just know how trigger happy Chelsea are, and as much as I'd like to think that they've changed and it will give him the time that Arsenal are giving Arteta, that United gave Ole, I do think that his time could be up if we lose this game. I do pray that I'm wrong. Obviously, though, I don't want to lose the game anyway. It's a game that we should, on paper, be winning. But because of all the pressure that's surrounding it, because Fulham are playing quite well, because it's a little bit of a derby, I'm going to go for Chelsea to win 2-1. I think it's going to be tough. I think Fulham are going to sit back, look to counter with very dangerous players like Lookman. That's another point. If Azpilicueta starts over Reece James, that could be very scary with Lookman, who's doing really well for Fulham at the moment. Obviously, Cavallero, a bit of a makeshift striker as well. But yeah, I'm going for the 2-1. I'm going for the Chelsea win. Hopefully, that can be the case, and hopefully that can get us on a good stead to go through the next few weeks and pick up a few more wins and go into a very important game away against Leicester City as well after this. So yeah, my preview for that game will obviously be up later. My review for this game against Fulham will be up after the match does take place. Hopefully I'll be reviewing a winning performance. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like. Comment down below your predictions and just your Chelsea thoughts in general. Let me know what you think about the idea of Fikayo Tomori going on loan. Lampard actually did bring up in his press conference that he does have big plans for Tomori, but there's also a bit of talk that the club are looking to maybe sell him or loan with an option to buy. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about that. Would love to discuss it, and might discuss it in a bit of a later video as well for you guys. But I do all hope you enjoy your weekend. Hopefully Chelsea pick up a W, and I'll see you guys next time.